Welcome to a new video of moving from Canon to Sony series. The Nifty 50 f1.8 is Canon's most selling lens, cheap and affordable, along with decent image quality, only for $125. Sony 50 Nifty version is double price, $250, and you can find it in some places for $200. I believe Canon gear performs better on Canon bodies as much as Sony lenses on Sony bodies, so we'll not adapt and test Canon 50mm on Sony. It doesn't make sense to me. However, today we'll test both lenses side by side in sharpness, chromatic aberration, focus system, focus speed, and bokeh quality. And we'll be using Canon 6D for Canon lens and the Sony a7 III for Sony for sure. Sony 50mm f1.8 made of plastic with large focus ring, remarkably taller than Canon with 45cm 17.7 minimum focus distance, 49mm filter thread size. No image stabilization and weighs 0.4 pounds, 186 grams. Unusually when looking at the lens mount, there is a large gap between the lens and the mount. Seems Sony renovated this lens from the SLR. Canon 50mm f1.8, made from plastic as well. Technically it's smaller than Sony version and has a small, tiny focus ring. Has autofocus manual focus switch. Focus distance is 35cm, 13.7 inches, 10cm less than Sony. Same filter thread size, no image stabilization as well. And it weighs 0.35 pounds, 160 grams, lighter than Sony. Video focus speed. Should mention, a7 III autofocus speed set to fast, and autofocus sensitivity is to standard. As I tested Sony and Canon 50mm, it's certainly true that Sony 50mm video autofocus is way slower than Canon. Canon 50 Nifty is more responsive and quicker. Focus sound. When doing video, Sony manual autofocus sounds loud, but not louder than Canon. Canon manual autofocus sounds like pulling a zipper. And when switching to autofocus, Canon focus sounds quiet and isn't loud as Sony. Check both of them. Canon 50mm autofocus sound. And this is Sony 50mm autofocus sound. Focus breathing test became popular nowadays. I didn't tend to make one, but it's already there. Indeed, there is focus breathing, but see no significant difference between both lenses. Shallow depth of field bokeh. It's relative and it's a topic that doesn't matter to many people. However, I see more bokeh details in Canon version. Sony bokeh looks nice as well, and it is a taste by the end of the day. Chromatic aberration. Luckily there is no color fringing in Canon and Sony 50mm. Images are pretty clean at f1.8, f2 and f4. 50 is well known and used for mid-range portraiture, being first lens for new photographers to buy. Well, this is unusual for a shoot. It's indoor with hundreds of colorful umbrellas in the ceiling. Can't count the amount of reflected color on the model. This is the point, I wanted to make it complicated. Canon RAW images 2/3 stops darker than a7 III. White balance set to auto. Canon could give better skin tone, more saturated and realistic. JPEG images do not look nice as RAW. a7 III JPEG is dull and not correctly exposed as RAW file. Canon colors are warm and close to human skin tone, yet overall neither JPEG is perfect. On the other hand, can easily fix and match a7 III white balance with 6D Mark II. A few more steps to do it. I shot autofocus on both cameras using a viewfinder, and back to RAW files, a7 III images are remarkably sharper than Canon. Canon focus is on the shirt in this particular photo. Maybe the shirt has more contrast than the face? Could be. One more example. 6D Mark II could find faces and focus on it properly in live view mode. And this is another shoot done in regular condition. Canon colors are remarkably warmer and both cameras could focus properly on the model face. And to be honest, I don't really remember if white balance set on auto or not. However, it's here 3450 Kelvin on both images, but both images' color do not look similar. Anyways, could fix them in post. That was on RAW, and here are JPEG images. A7 III and 6D Mark II. 6D Mark II and Sony A7 III are set at the same settings, with auto white balance. Canon auto white balance gave me cold colors, 3850 Kelvin, and Sony auto white balance is 4250 Kelvins. I've noticed through multiple tests, A7 III image is 2/3 stop brighter than 6D Mark II, thus will adjust all Sony images by minus 2/3 stops for better comparison preview. And not to mention, I've noticed all Sony 50mm images are unsharp and blurred at the bottom side and also blurred at the top side, but not as much as the bottom. This made me repeat the test again and again, in case if the camera angle is tilted a little bit up. If really it is, the distance to the top is less than the bottom, and the focus distance might change. I double checked though and used the 3-axis bubble spirit level, and nothing really changed, same result. Sony 50mm f1.8 is on the left, and Canon is on the right. At f1.8 and f2, I see similar results on both lenses, no clear difference, except purple fringing in some Canon corners, and extra vignette as well. And corners at f2.8, and blurry in the bottom as I mentioned earlier. Canon still has color fringing in corners. At f4, Canon is doing a better job, sharper, and has no more chromatic aberration, but still not as good and sharp as Sony. Sony is still sharper at f5.6, f8 and f11, and see better improvement in the bottom area. Both lenses' sharpness dropped down at f16. Alright, lens flare could transform your scene dramatically. It sometimes casts bad flare effect, though I made two tests. First one is just directing the lens to my car spotlight, panning and tilting it around to see how each lens will act with direct light. The second test I made is basically moving the camera horizontally and vertically. This is the case when dealing with existing spotlight or sunlight in the background. As you probably noticed, couldn't call any lens a winner. We are testing here Sony and Canon cheapest prime lenses, full frame prime lenses, so do not expect so much. What do you think? I don't really own the Sony 50 version and I'm not willing to buy one since I'm in love with my 85. We will make a video soon about it. That's it. Please show me support, show your thumb up, do it now. Share the video and make it happen. Subscribe to my channel and check other Sony and Canon reviews. See you next week.